Angel Reese strutted into the spotlight like she was stepping onto a stage built just for her, only to discover the lights had dimmed, the audience left early, and the stagehands had already packed up. The real twist? She actually thought she could replicate Caitlin Clark's magic. Not with skills, not with authentic appeal, but simply by hovering close enough to soak in the reflection, as if standing next to greatness was the same thing as earning it. Comment down below, baby goat over baby giraffe. If you're riding with CC, let's go. Angel me bound. Pray up. Reese, you're only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap? Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those types of things. You hear me? Don't put that on. Don't put that with her name. If you're in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud of. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be Angel Reese's big coming out party. This was her moment to shine, to finally step out of Caitlin Clark's shadow. Or at least that's what she told herself. She was set to drop her Reebok signature shoe, roll out her "I'm in your city" marketing campaign, and turn Indianapolis, Clark's home turf, into her personal playground. On paper, it looked like the perfect plan. But reality served up a harsh lesson. You can't fake charisma, and you definitely can't build your brand by orbiting someone else's. Here, everyone with credit card debt is lining up to get Angel Reese's signature shoe. Here it gives you the power of the me-bound again. Will she save it? No. What? Everyone's paid to see the Angel Reese rebound. Kelsey Plum makes this shot. She'll get more money. We show up and show out for our rebounding queen. Yes. Bang. I love rebounds. Yes. Hey, Jimmy, did you see that last rebound? It was so sick. Yes, she did it again. Reebok. So let's address the sneaker in the room. Angel Reese's new Reebok release, dubbed the Angel Reese 1. It launched in 2 colorways, Diamond Dust and Me Bounce, and was hyped as the future of women's basketball footwear. Reebok invested big, flooding the All-Star festivities with ads and aligning the Me Bounce release for peak exposure. Unfortunately for them, exposure doesn't always equal excitement, especially when your timing backfires spectacularly. Literally, debut has to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously end up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin's not playing in this game either. So they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally use Caitlin Clark for the launch of it. The heart of Reese's strategy rested on one crucial and very flawed assumption that Caitlin Clark's All-Star appearance would guarantee massive eyeballs, which would then turn into big sales. She didn't try to captivate fans on her own merit. She bet the house on the idea that just sharing the court, just existing in Clark's orbit, would elevate her. It wasn't about outshining Clark or even competing. It was about riding the coattails of someone who already commands the room. It's one of those things where it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. One side is trying to do everything they can to keep it going because that's where they'll be at their most relevant. But fate had other plans. Clark suffered a groin injury just before the All-Star break and was sidelined, forced to watch from the bench in street clothes. And with her absence, the WNBA lost the one thing it couldn't afford to lose, its top draw. Caitlin Clark is the type of player who can turn a midweek game in the middle of nowhere into a national event. Without her on the floor, the excitement evaporated. But there's a part of me that's like, is this really necessary? Shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or insinuating attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest, people say that moment, that huge moment, will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was already on this trajectory. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint, it's Angel. And the numbers? Brutal. When Clark played in the 2024 All-Star Game, it smashed records with 3.44 million viewers. It wasn't just a game, it was a cultural moment. Fast forward to 2025, with Clark sitting out, and ratings nosedive to 2.19 million. That's a staggering 36% drop in viewership. And it happened in Indianapolis, Clark's backyard. An event tailor-made to capitalize on her presence completely unraveled the moment she couldn't play. So the WNBA's All-Star Game went down 36%. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now you could say, is it a success? Yeah, for a women's sport, that's still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going, and you can only draw that? So with all the stars, remember guys, Reese had to watch her entire campaign unravel before her eyes. Nearly half their value gone. Not even scalpers could salvage it. Fans weren't lining up to see an All-Star event without the only star they truly cared about. But the WNBA All-Star game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. FAFO. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelberg, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up and have a talk with your players in the league. And nothing summed up the misstep of it all quite like Reese's tone-deaf, "I'm in your city" campaign. The premise was bold, borderline arrogant. She rolled out the campaign across Indianapolis as if declaring territorial conquest in someone else's kingdom. But here's the catch. Clark wasn't even suiting up. She couldn't defend her city because she was injured. That didn't make Reese look bold. It made her look like someone trying to hijack a crown while the real queen was temporarily off the throne. Hey Joel, Reese All-Star Weekend Edition. How about it? Let's get it. You know what they say, 4 is more. Her loyal fans shout out in Indy, all 4 of them. And somebody's drunk uncle. Take a look at what unemployment looks like. What do you mean you didn't watch the All-Star game? You're telling me you have a social life? What? What's butter pecan mean? It's provocative. It gets people going. But I'm a curry. The campaign was everywhere. Billboards, digital ads, slick videos, and flashy captions screaming dominance. Reese even posted Instagram reels with the caption, "I'm in your city," and used phrases like, "walk in your trap," "take over your trap." It was a full-on takeover attempt, just without any actual resistance to overcome. Oh, you can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose and they record them as meows, rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time, that championship. But what happened the year after? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. At the end of the day, fans weren't fooled, not even a little.